as we offer yet another psalm. We're up to 104. This is quite a wonderful psalm. It's like yesterday's psalm. King David celebrating the relationship with a godliness that draws him in, that pushes him forward. But today's psalm, much like yesterday's psalm, does this not in a personal way, but through nature. It's really a nature psalm. It's the Wordsworth psalm, right? It's a beautiful psalm. So
it's also cited a lot by to track Gnostic ideas, like Neoplatonic or Gnostic ideas in the tradition, especially that third verse. I think it is. It's cited all the time.
Ah, yes.
Second verse.
Enwrapped in light. That's what got me, is this light. Enwrapped in light as with a garment, spreading out the heavens like an outstretched curtain. Remember when we, for our wedding invitation, we took that verse from the Zohar.
Yeah, it's like an emanationist, uses an emanationist proof text for a different version of creation.
Nice.
The influence of the Gnostics or Neoplatonists.
Yeah. And the idea that light can be a garment.
And that it's godliness itself that differentiates through creation from one to many.
Yeah.
By another mechanism, not God said and there was a different stretched out an emanationist mechanism.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's kind of ashrei, forward. This notion of pushing things forward.
So there's something in every aspect of creation that retains something of the unity, and there's something in the unity that appears in every aspect of creation.
Oh, well, that's the Zohar, right? The Sfat Emet.
Yeah, Harold Bloom points this out in his book Kabbalah and Criticism.
See, I love that idea. Then no matter how small, right, the spark of light is, everything is included in it. It's all you need is that one little drop, that one little spark of light, of godliness, of kindness, because everything you need is your DNA, right? Is contained within it, and all you have to do is grow that or spread that like a garment. Nice. So we'll offer a Mishaberach, a healing prayer first. We started doing these to offer healing for the soul of the nation. We added the body of the nation because it seems really important to pray right now.
Yeah, we're okay.
We're good? Okay. So let's offer a Mishaberach, a healing prayer for Sam, for Choco, for Kathy Davenport, and for Michael. Yeah, Kathy had a big surgery, so we're just hoping she's doing better. Continues to heal. Glad they caught it when they did. For my friend Stuart, who had a surgery, and for the people that have COVID. People who are working to heal from cancer, COVID, Alzheimer's, and other diseases that we can't quite fix yet. So let's offer that Mishaberach, a healing prayer, calling upon the angels, our angels and our ancestors to guide us in healing.
Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, for the healing of the spirit, healing of the body. Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, healing of the spirit, healing of the body for those we know, for those we don't know. On my right, the angel Michael. On my left, the angel Gabriel. In front of me, the angel Uriel. Behind me, the angel Raphael. And above my head, Shekhinah Teil. Michael, who was like God, Gabriel, God is my strength. Uriel, God is my light. Raphael, God is my healer, above my head, above my head, above my head. Shekhinah Teil. We prepare for her, she will not rest in an unprepared space. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim, blessed are you, great healer. Amen.
For learning, we offer this learning also for healing. Psalmist calls to our souls.
וערפנה אדוני אלוהינו את דברי תורתך בפינו ובפי עמך בית ישראל, O God. Make the words of your teachings pleasant on our lips and the lips of all of those that come into our screens. נהיה אנחנו וצאצאינו וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה. All of us spending a time in learning for pleasure and for its own sake and for its implications in our lives, the works of our hands, מעשה ידינו כוננהו, the works of our hands, so we can take what we learn, turn it into what we do, what we learn to what we do. Baruch atah Adonai המלמד תורה לעמו Israel. Blessed are you who teaches to your people in this fashion. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Amen.
It's a long psalm.
It's a long psalm,
get
so
into
we're going to
it.
jump into it. It is the psalm that
Let's
celebrates...
stretch out the heavens
Yeah, right.
like a nice leather coat.
Oh my God, that's another story. Remember
That's
that
a good
story?
story.
That's a
That's a good
great story.
story.
We don't have time for it today, but maybe one day. So, okay, I want to give over this psalm. Certainly, we want to think about Ramona and Abba. People who really are holding on to these psalms and doing wonderful work in the world, but also my friend Lynn Landsberg,
Yeah.
Rabbi Lynn Landsberg. Really. So I wouldn't say that she was a nature girl.
Nature girl.
No, but she was full
Well,
of light, full
like-
of light.
Yeah.
So, bless God, my soul. Oh God, you are. They're so you're everything. The greatness, the grandeur of what godliness can be,
You're my
clothed in
everything.
majesty and splendor. And here is that. Right. Well, everybody's singing it. And verse 2.
Come
Here
on,
it
let's
is.
get going, girl.
I'm up to verse 2. Or, right? That light.
Begador.
Bigot. That's it. That's it. It's not that kind of or. Not the
come
big
on.
leather coat.
Get
No,
serious, will
this
ya?
you did that. And wrapped in light. Oh my God. And wrapped in light as in a garment. Feel that for a moment. What does it mean to be wrapped in light? We talk about people's auras, right? The word for or, for light, or.
Natasha Maim and stretching it out.
Spread
The
out
heavens
the
out
heavens
of
like
it.
an outstretched curtain. And that's what you were saying,
Yeah,
that
that's
there
that
are
verse.
different ideas about how creation unfolds. And we'll get to these images of how, godliness even makes the rain on the mountains so that the streams can flow and fill the rivers and the seas, right?
Alexander Altman wrote that article about this version of creation, of citing here as this emanationist, this influence
I love that idea.
of the Neoplatonists and the
And
Gnostics.
then you're
And
challenged really
Scholem picks it up.
to find godliness in everything, right?
Yeah, well, it's like it becomes turns into the biological image later when we have the understanding that from one comes many. From 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 16. Can I get a table?
That's right.
Can I get a table in
Verse
the wilderness?
3. Okay. We love this verse too. Lays the beams of the upper chambers, right?
In water.
In water, because don't forget there was the waters above and the waters below.
So what we're
that were
starting to give up
separated.
here is a poetic version of creation.
Yes,
Is what we're getting here.
beautiful. Really, I love that.
We're going to run through that. So this becomes a long psalm.
You who fashions the beams
know
of
why
the
you're
upper
dilly-dallying
chambers from
around.
water, who makes clouds, right? The clouds become the chariot, right? That glides on the wings of the wind.
The
Whoa.
vehicle.
Yes.
It's your vehicle, baby.
Glides on the wings of the wind.
The wings of the wind. That's a good
Makes the winds God's messengers.
one.
The winds, because the winds bring everything. It's like nature, right? If not for the winds, we wouldn't have the pollination.
Mishartav ish, and it's like the serving
And
serving
also
of
a flaming fire.
Flaming fire, like it's fire as well as light.
The fire, the passion,
Yasad Eretz al
that
Mechoneha.
spark are the messengers.
And
Verse
its
5.
foundations, the earth is laid on its foundations. Baal Timot, it will not be moved.
That's
Though
verse 5.
Though it's signified by fire and water and
Because
movement,
there is the oneness that you
breath
spoke of,
and
right?
wind.
That oneness is not moved.
To home, and also
Verse
the
6.
deep emptiness also. To home, Kalavush.
The billowy deep.
There's also a deep and emptiness too that's covered over, but it is there.
Here's the image of the garment again.
And then
though,
the mountains, Ha'arim.
The billowy deep is like a garment too, right? The waters stood upon the mountains.
The mountains, Yamdu Maim Zumi Ga'aracha.
At your roar, they fled. At the thunder of your voice, they quickly receded. In other words, there is a relationship between this grandeur, between the spreader of this garment.
In my eyes, so
Really?
can't read so well.
Right.
Okay.
Thunder of your voice.
Min
they will
Kora
recede.
Amcha.
The mountains rise.
Yalu Harim
The valleys
Yebuhu
sink
Kaot.
to the place you set for them. This is,
Amakom Zeh.
yeah. I mean, these verses we see again and again,
You
right?
set them there.
You set a boundary
Ah,
that
yes.
they were not to cross.
The rule something.
That
Yeah,
they not again
don't go across it.
cover the earth. In other words, there are things that God pulled back to
Here's
make
the
room for us
boundary.
in, right?
This is yours. This is not yours. This
right.
is yours.
conveying springs into the torrent valleys, meandering between the mountains. So there's a place for the mountains, there's a place for the springs, there's a place that the wind connects us all.
Between the mountains.
Because there had to be a place to give drink to all the beasts of the field, because they too are part of the harmony. They too are part of creation. The beasts of the field, the wild asses quenching their thirsts. There has to be a place for them too. And by them dwell the birds of the sky, singing among the luxuriant thicket. So there's a place for them too.
Pay attention, Avril.
Okay. Verse 13. Who waters the mountains from the upper abode. So here's that image that God is watering the mountains, from the upper abodes, and the earth is sated.
It's
from
the fruit of your works.
Yeah,
earth is
that.
like the fruit of your
So
works,
beautiful.
of your doing. I love that. It's good.
And now we're back down on the earth, the one that makes the grass grow for the cattle, the plants to reward our labor, and this whole notion that we have to participate. We say, Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, we bring forth bread from the earth, but we don't. We bring forth
Well, here's the phrase right here.
The wheat, right? We have to work it.
Lechem min haaretz.
Yes, exactly.
After we've planted the grass for the service, it says, of the bulldogs, it says here. V'yayin, 15. And the wine, Yisamech, is a very famous verse. Yisamach levav enosh. Wine gladdens, lightens the heart of a human being. Lehatzil, that's hatzil. Panim, mishaman. But, you make your face bright too with oil, so you don't have to use the wine, really. Just put some oil on your face.
I do that.
V'lechem levav, and the bread
that sustains
the heart of a human being.
What bread are we talking about here?
Maybe not, I don't know, well, both physical bread and spiritual bread, I think. Physical substance and spiritual substance. So let's say the first mention here, lahotzi lechem min haaretz, let's say that serves to bring out
the wheat,
the actual wheat,
the wheat
physical
that we
bread,
turn into bread.
And this here, let's call this the spiritual sustenance, lechem levav, for the heart.
So you think there's a connection here that our
being.
Catholic, our Christian family has this notion of the bread,
Let's ask them. They're right there.
I know. So what do you say? What do you say, family
16.
out there? This is a little bit like,
Yisba'u atzi Adonai, the trees
the
of
Eucharist,
God,
I don't know.
are Zeh Lebanon, the great cedars of Lebanon that you planted. Asher Sham. And the birdies make their nests there, and the stork and the fir trees and the houses there. Harim, high mountains.
The birds make their nests.
Silaim, and the rocks that the bulldogs are running around in. And Osei Yareach, and then the moon. The Moed, the moon for the seasons, for the appointed time,
Up
the
to
right
verse
time.
19.
Shemesh, and the sun knows it's coming, when it's coming down. So in the moon and in the sun, Tashev, Choshech.
So even these things are part of godliness, part of
darkness, and it was
wholeness.
night. And all the beasts of the forest, they creep around. And the young lions, the taref,
roar,
are tearing apart their prey. The vakesh, but they're
seeking this whole
food.
notion of the natural order, that they're just seeking their food, and this too is part of godliness, the food chain, right?
And the Gibsons and the Stellas and the Buffys looking for their food. Tizrach, Hashemesh, they seek their food from God. And then
verse 22.
Sun rises, Hashemesh. Yes, and the
sun rises, they come together,
they go back into their
and
dens.
lie down in their dens, because they're part of the cycle of nature.
They like the dens.
Right, they're part of the cycle. And part of our challenge here, once we know it, once we know this cycle, once we know how it works from this psalm, then we're not supposed to interrupt it. We're supposed to go with it. We're not supposed to tame the floodplains, or live in the floodplains, or disrupt the habitats of the animals,
This
right?
may be my favorite verse, though.
Which one?
23.
Go ahead.
And after all that, a person goes to work.
Right.
He goes to his
Then
job.
you go forth to
The
your
person
work.
goes to work till evening.
You know, from
Time
9
to go to
5.
work.
Right, but it's with knowing that you're
I
not
love that.
supposed to mess things up. You're not supposed to disrupt the order of creation that that has flowed forth. Don't
so-
interrupt it.
Time to go to work.
Okay,
Chart at the clock.
but don't mess up.
I love it. It's the whole drama, and it's like the Roadrunner and the Wolf. When they check into work, they put their cards in, and then they go out and go at each other all day.
You do.
It's Adam Lefolo. I love that. Marabu, also very famous.
Marabu,
Marabu, Masecha,
Asita, Marabu,
How great.
Maasechaya,
Masecha, your works, O God, Kulam Bechochma. You've done them all with wisdom.
Yeah, this is really a
Ma'ah,
beautiful verse.
the
This
earth
verse we
full.
use as a kavanah in the morning service
Ha'ares kinyanecha is your possession, your thing, your creatures, your business. Zeh hayam. Oh, and look, here's
often.
the sea.
Yonder sea.
Here's the sea. Rachav.
Ah.
Oh, here's the sea. It's so wide, and it's just great. And there's some creeping things without number.
Great
Chayot
ones.
ketanot. And here's some little things, some small
Great and
little
wide,
things.
creeping things, innumerable.
And
both
here's some
small
big
creatures and great
things.
ones.
Here's some ships. The ships. Oh, and here's a sea creature. Leviathan.
Leviathan.
Ze Yetzarta.
It's everything.
You
right?
formed it.
Yeah, so how can we figure out a way to live in harmony with all of it, right?
This is where Melville started writing Moby Dick here at this verse. Kulam elecha yasbirun. They wait for you. They wait for you, all of them, so that you may give them their
food.
their food,
In other
their
words, we have
sustenance
There's something about
in their time.
our place of nurturing nature.
Yeah.
Verse 28.
Ten lahem il koton. Give it to them. They gather it. You open your hand.
They become well
Yisba'un,
sated.
satisfied with good. So
It's our job
tastir.
to
Oh,
feed,
but
nurture.
29, you hide your face. Tastir panecha yibelun. You hide your face and they can vanish that way. Tosef rucham. So if you take away your breath, they perish. They wither.
Did you see Sean's response there?
No.
That there's a different translation. Check this out. Of the ships.
The ships are moving there, and the monsters you got to play with. That's the word, is to play with. You play with the monsters.
Yeah, that's really lovely.
That's where Melville started with Moby Dick.
The monsters are there to play with
Afram
us.
Yeshuvum Tishalach Ruchacha. So put your spirit. We need your spirit here, and with your spirit,
Verse 30.
they are created. Yibareun.
And
These
ever
old
and
endings.
but I love this that the surface of the earth is ever renewed.
Techadesh.
Right? Ever renewed.
Penei Adama, the face of the earth.
There's nothing that's old.
Yehi.
It's always new, kind of like our skin, right? It's always renewing. The earth too.
Here's your beloved Joseph. Yehi kavod, may the glory of God be
You don't
forever.
like the Joseph.
Yismach,
But see,
and God's joy. B'ma'asav,
even the psalmist
in
likes
all
to
the
preach every
works.
once in a while.
Hamabit, look down, see, who looked down
Verse
on the
32.
earth. Oh, God looked down on the earth, and it
Trembles.
trembled.
It trembles.
Yigah b'harim, and the mountains, God touched the mountains, and
The mountains,
they started to smoke.
turn into smoke.
Excuse me. Ashira l'Adonai, I will sing to God. B'chayai, in my life, or as long as I live, or something like
I
this.
love that word. B'chayai, as long as I live, I would sing to my God. while I have
Azamra,
being.
I'll make some sound, Elohei be'odi, as long as I am.
Because we're not for very long, you know.
As
we
long
come
as
and
I
we go.
am.
But this natural world, as long as we care for it, It will continue to be there to play with us.
Anochi esmach b'Adonai. I will be happy. I will rejoice in God. Gitamu chata'im. But you know, those sinners, those crooked that we're talking about?
Come on. You can't just go right to that verse.
The
You have to
crooked.
see, after all this, we're back to the bad guys. Don't forget,
You
those
can't
sinners.
forget, there are
they're-
enemies. They're there,
there's
man.
some bad guys
There
out
are
there.
obstructionists.
Right? And they're going to be held accountable. So after
Help is
all
coming.
that beautiful, beautiful imagery, this imagery that really lays out this beautiful garment of creation and everything that's beneath it and nurturing it and truth of it and
It starts the
playing
way
with
it
us,
ends the way it started.
It ends with-
Barchi nafshi.
the sinners will
Oh,
laugh.
my soul.
Get rid of them. Live in harmony
Bless God.
with the earth, and the sinners will be no more.
Hallelujah.
And then it ends right. Exactly. That's so beautiful. It ends just the way it began. Bless my soul. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Can we go back to that verse one more time, though? Marabu ma'asechaya, kulam b'chochma asita, mal'ah haaretz kinyanecha. How beautiful are your works, God. In wisdom you have made all of the earth. All of your creation has meaning, has wisdom.
I go to work. Borchi nafshi, oh, my soul.
Yeah.
Bless God. More than the greatest ma'od, ma'od. Clothed in beauty and glory. Stretch out the light like a garment. Stretch out the heavens like a carpet. Fashion the upper chambers from waters. Cloud the vehicles. Walking on the wings of the wind messengers served by a flaming fire. Set the earth on foundations, never to be moved. The deep like a covering garment, the waters stood on mountains, they flee at the voice of thunder. I go to work, I work until nighttime. Borchi nafshi, oh my soul, bless God, I go to work. Borchi nafshi, oh my soul, bless God. You sent foundations, running rivers through mountains. Give drinks to the bulldogs of the fields, creatures of the forest to quench their thirst. The birds of the heavens from the caverns, they lift up their voices. Borchi nafshi, oh my soul, bless God. Clothed in beauty and glory, stretch out light like a garment, the heavens like a carpet. February 3rd? 4th. February 4th, 2021. Tehillim on the ceiling after Psalm 104. Bless our President and Vice President and all their holy retinue.
Amen. Amen. May it be a day of lift for you, a good day, a day of meaning. And thanks for joining us in these spectacular Psalms. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Inshallah.